My family had a history of barbecuing.
Well, my grandfather, Joe Connor, was an interesting personality. He was one that actually grew out of the experiences of slavery and in the hopes of Reconstruction, that it would be a better life, and then the attempt to dash those hopes during the time of after the time of the Reconstruction and the Jim Crow era. So what an interesting thing happened with my grandfather and many other African descendants at that time. They decided that the best thing to do in order to support and provide for their families is to put their hopes in their own self-determination, their own ability to earn an income and eke out an existence in a hostile environment, especially in a town such as Cotton Plant, Arkansas, which is not different than any other town in the South, or sometimes even in the North. You have the same situation where the ability to prosper were limited. So my grandfather perfected on a barbecue sauce that was created by his father. And what he did is that he created such a delicious barbecue sauce that was well known throughout not only the town of Cotton Plant, Arkansas, which at that time was really a buzzing town, but also throughout different areas in the surrounding counties in Arkansas. And so people would come from miles around after working hard all week to buy barbecue dinners with my grandfather's great barbecue sauce. Now it's interesting that in those days, barbecue was different than what it is today. They would actually dig out a big hole in the ground and use any kind of large wrought iron fence or something that would be graded in such a way that you can spread out over that pit that's dug in the ground, and you put whole animals on top of that pit to barbecue. So you wouldn't be barbecuing just a piece of ham or a leg of ham. You would be barbecuing the entire pig or the cow or whatever, the goat, whatever you were barbecuing. And the pièce de resistance was that barbecue sauce. So my father and my grandfather, what happened is they used that money that they got from selling that barbecue sauce, and they bought a plot of land in Cotton Plant. And on that land that my grandfather built his house that his family was born in, because blacks at that time were not allowed in the white hospitals. So my father was born in that house that my grandfather had built. So my father decided James Connor Sr., when he decided to marry my future mom, Mary Ellen Morgan, he knew that he had to have his own place to live. And so he and his brothers, Alfred and Eli, what you call Uncle Pete, and Jethro, they got together and they helped my father to build a house that his three sons were born in there in Cotton Plant, Arkansas. So we lived on a land that we owned in a house that we owned. So my family was never beholden to having to be on anybody's plantation to pick cotton or whatever. It was another source of income. But our family's foundation was built on this barbecue sauce that my father has went on to perfect even more than my grandfather. And my sister Rose, who has taken on the mantle of this barbecue sauce, has even duplicated and made it even better with her special little added things.
My Papa Joe gave the recipe to my dad, and my dad used to make the sauce for the barbecue sauce for holidays, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Labor Day. And when we have family barbecues or picnics, he will make the sauce. And so he would, when he wanted to go on trips, him and my mom, when they wanted to make extra money, we would sell barbecue dinners. And so we would use the sauce, and everybody loved the sauce because it was something different, something they never had before. They couldn't find anything close to it. And so we would sell 200 dinners on the weekends because everybody enjoyed the sauce.
Now I know that they passed the sauce down to you. Are you the only person now with 100 years worth of barbecue experience who knows how to make the sauce?
I believe that one of my nieces, I think she knows, but I'm not sure if she made it since she worked with Grandpa and trying to get the recipe. But I know that I have the recipe. I got the recipe about 11 years ago, just before my father passed. I said that this sauce, this recipe can't go to the grave with my dad. So I worked with him to get the recipe. Back then he didn't write anything down, he just eyeballed everything, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I said, no, I need the recipe. So I would sit and watch him, and every time he put in ingredients, I said, wait. Let me. How many teaspoons, a tablespoon, or a cup of this, a cup of that. So I worked with him, and I said, okay. So I went home and tried it myself. So I kept trying. I'll come back by, and I said, how is this? Is this close to it? And he said, one day he said, kid, I think you got it. And so that's how I ended up with the sauce. Well, the family, it's 5 of us, and the plan is to try to get the barbecue sauce on the market, because everybody that tastes the sauce really like the barbecue sauce, and it's a little bit different. And so we hopefully that we can market it, and so it's something that the family legacy can continue on.
This is the foundation of the famous Granddad's BBQ Sauce, which we intend to make known to the entire world. It is a special kind of flavoring that has been passed down from generation to generation, and it also speaks to the resilience of our people, that in spite of outstanding and dangerous opposition on the parts of both the government and as well as members of the dominant society, that the descendants of the Africans decided that we could do for ourselves and build on something that we ourselves can control and leave it as a legacy for our future generations. And so that's what we're doing with this Granddad's BBQ Sauce. Not only carrying on the traditions of our family for self-determination, but also bringing good taste to those of you that enjoy the old-fashioned barbecue. And so we present to the community Granddad's famous barbecue sauce.